You should think of the word of depressed as deep rest. Deep rest. Your body needs to be depressed. It needs deep rest from the character that you've been trying to play.
I don't have a mom I can call. I don't have a father I can call. I don't have my, you know what I'm saying? Like my aunt, who was the last thing that I had, is gone. Do you know what I'm saying?
Why you not go to a therapist?
When I experienced it, it was devastating, and it lasted a lot longer because I didn't know what was going on, and I just thought it was my fault. And
oh, I'm always depressed all the time. I have to constantly bring myself out of it. Like, I wake up depressed, but I'm like, okay, now I know my steps, because you learn from the real. Like, now I have to go outside and be in the sun for a little bit, or go for a walk, or start the day this way. It's all just programming yourself to trick your brain.
When I put out my second record, I started to notice those feelings, kind of creeping back in slowly and then all at once. And I said to some of the people around me, I said, it's not that bad right now, but I can recognize that if I don't act on it, it will become that way.
I was completely suicidal, didn't want to live anymore. I thought that I was completely alone. I also realized how lucky I was and what a wonderful family, wonderful friends I had, but that didn't matter. I wanted the world to swallow me up, and nothing seemed better to me than death, which is completely insane.
I was in Berlin, and I was alone in my hotel, and I remember there was a window right there, and God, I remember crying because I was thinking about how the way that I was gonna die was I was gonna do it.
I had bought into the not uncommon notion that when I taste success, when I get over there, then I'll be happy. But the strangest thing happened. As the show got more successful, I got more depressed.
I mean, we all carry, I think, great pains, great regrets. We've all experienced loss. We've all experienced great loneliness at times.
I have literally been at the lowest point that a human being could be. I have literally wanted to and attempted to take my own life. I wanted to not be here anymore. And I have millions of followers, and I have all the streams, I got whatever. It doesn't solve your problems. It does not make things go away. And if you struggle in any type of way, it's only going to amplify it, and it's only going to put a magnifying glass over everything.
Now, do you think you've beaten it?
No, Larry. It's always there. You've beaten it. Yeah, I kicked it.
No,
I'm fine.
I think it's important for us to have conversations about, open conversations about mental health, especially with me being Black, because we never had therapists in the Black community.
I was very young when the first time it hit me, and I didn't know what was happening. It feels like you're terribly homesick, but you're home. So there's no way to satiate it.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like the way that I have money kind of took away a lot of my happiness.
You're sleeping till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Something's not right. You need to see somebody. You're not well. And, for me, it was like, I'll be fine. It's stiff upper lip, kind of Midwestern, don't worry about it, I'm fine. He's not fine. This is not fine.
Many people find themselves in this situation, and these kind of, my family, we've all been through a difficult time. And it's not, my focus is my children, our children, and it is, and my focus is finding this way through.
And then depression is different. My version of it feels very restricted, like if you're trying to put on a latex glove that's way too small for your hand. Also, it sort of coincides with this feeling of not being excited about anything.
I get depressed. I take antidepressants. They're very helpful for me. I've taken them since I was 26 years old.
This, I'm telling you, is you get on an elevator and the bottom drops out. And you can't stand looking at the sunlight. You can't wait to get back in bed at night. You're shaking, you're shivering. And I went through this for about 6 months.
You know, I have suffered seems such a dramatic word, but I have depression, you know, and I didn't understand fully what was happening to me or what was going on.
And I am the least happy I've ever been in my life. I'm the closest to not wanting to be alive as I've ever been. And I have every single thing on paper that I wanted.
I struggle with depression and anxiety. I noticed the mood swings, like, you know, one day I'd be up and the next day I'd be down, feeling like I don't want to go out in public, almost agoraphobic, like, too much to deal with, feeling really awkward in my skin, feeling out of sorts, you know, and just down, like Debbie Downer, like a dark cloud.
People were wondering, like, you know, like, well, how could you be sad when all of this opportunities come to you? And, you know, really it's like, the fact that you're overstimulated, it's like you have so much of these things, but they really don't equal out to emotional support. I think Jim Carrey said it, he was like, I wish everyone in the world could experience what it's like to be rich and famous just so you can realize that it means nothing.
I've suffered with depression for about 5 or 6 years now.
So what's been your biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge is just for me getting out of bed and getting out of the house.
Did social media cause you to get depressed?
I think it definitely was a bit of a catalyst. You see 10 great comments and you ignore them, but one negative comment and it just like throws you off.
And you fall pretty hard. Some people fall harder than others. I fell pretty hard. And I got to a place where I didn't know whether or not I wanted to do it anymore.
When those things came, the happiness wasn't there, and I realized why that was. There was such an attempt to achieve these things and to keep going that you lose sight of the people and the blessings that you have around you. You're so focused on the next success, the next step in your career.
I have some sort of anxiety, depression, something that's changed my whole life. I take antidepressant medication for it. I have tried to get off of it. My doctor always tells me not to, that it's not safe for me to. Whenever I've tried to, I've gotten very neurotic, manic, sick.
Money, no ability to provide inner peace.